ESPN has predicted Texas Tech will go undefeated, Oklahoma State's going to go to a bowl game, and Iowa State's going to only have 3 wins. And we're going to go over just about how much of that I believe.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 22, that penalty.
Using ESPN's current 2026 matchup predictor, I counted every game in the Big 12, 50%, above 50% a win, and every game below 50% a loss.
You lose.
And today I'm going through all 16 teams and picking the over and under or push of their overall records based off of the ESPN matchup predictor. Now, I followed this conference since it was the Big 8, and somehow now we're around 16 teams. Half of these programs I know extremely well, and the other half I'm still kind of learning about. But I'm going to go ahead and put all my predictions on record, and when the season ends, I'm going to come back and just see how close I was or how far off I was from predicting this season's records. All right, let's go ahead and start off with the bottom 6, starting with West Virginia. West Virginia is still trying to settle its quarterback situation, but under 3-9 would mean going 0-9 in the Big 12. I'm not ready to go that far, so I'm going to go with a push with West Virginia at 3-9. Next, we have Kansas. Kansas has to replace Jalen Daniels at the long-term quarterback, but I do trust Lance Leopold will find one more win than what ESPN is predicting, so I'm going to give them the over at 4-8. Next, we got Iowa State. Jimmy Rogers is a proven coach, but Matt Campbell took about 23 Iowa State players with him to Penn State. For me, that's too much talent and experience to replace immediately, so I'm going to go ahead and take the under with Iowa State. Next is UCF. Alonzo Barnett looks like a much better fit for Scott Frost's offense. If the rebuilt offensive line holds up, I think the Knights reach a bowl game this year, putting them at 6-6. So I'm definitely going to go with the over with UCF. Next is Colorado. Colorado, they had at 4-8 and 3-6. Colorado still has major questions along its offensive line, but Brennan Marion's new offense and the talent at quarterback should produce some improvement. I'm going to take the over with Colorado. And finish up the bottom 6, we got Cincinnati. They were picked at 7-5 and 4-5. Cincinnati has a strong offensive line, but is replacing its quarterback, its skill players, and nearly the entire defense. That is too much change for me to predict 7 wins. Yeah, we're going to go with an under with Cincinnati.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right, now we're going to start with the middle of the pack. This is the chaos area of the Big 12. As you can tell, all these teams are all within one game of each other. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom. We're going to start with Baylor. Baylor's predicted at 7-5, 5-4. DJ Lagway gives the Baylor a talented quarterback, but the Bears lost too many important players during the off-season. And with Dave Aranda already under pressure, I'm taking the under with Baylor at 6-6. Next, we have Arizona State. They are predicted to also go 7-5 and 5-4. Kenny Dillingham has proven he can coach, but Arizona State faces one of the toughest schedules in the conference. I think the difficult road games balance out the talent, so I'm staying with ESPN, and we're going to go with a push with Arizona State. Next is Oklahoma State. They are also predicted to be 7-5, 5-4 by ESPN. Oklahoma State completely rebuilt its program around Eric Morris, Drew Mestamaker, and Caleb Hawkins. It may take time for everything to come together, but I believe this offense can get the Cowboys over.
They're biased. That's a mistrial.
Next, we have TCU. They have been predicted at 8-4 and 5-4. TCU is replacing its quarterback, top receiver, and offensive coordinator while changing to a more run-heavy offense. I trust Sonny Dykes to keep them competitive, but not enough to move them above what ESPN has them at 8-4. So I'm going to go with a push with TCU. Next, we have Kansas State. Colin Klein already understands Kansas State's culture and he may be the perfect coach to unlock Avery Johnson. The offensive line concerns me, but I don't believe Kansas State loses all 4 road games that ESPN has picked against them. So I'm going to go with the over, and at 9-3 with Kansas State. And then wrapping up the middle of the pack is Houston. Houston just had a 10-win season. I don't believe it was a fluke. Connor Winningham gives them one of the conference's better quarterbacks. But now that they have expectations and several close games on the schedule, I'm predicting a slight slip. And we're going to go ahead and go with the under with Houston. Next is the top 4, and these are our playoff contenders for the Big 12. We're going to start that off with Utah. Utah enters the Morgan Scalley era with stability at quarterback and a roster built to compete immediately. ESPN has 3 conference losses by less than 6%. And I think the Utes flip at least one of those. So I'm going to go with the over with Utah and give me 10-2 on them. Next is Arizona. No Fafita, however you pronounce it, gives Arizona an excellent quarterback. But the defense lost 4 defensive backs and 6 of its top tacklers. I don't expect them to recreate last year's turnover production. So I'm taking the under at 8-4 with Arizona. Next we got BYU. Bear Bachmeier returns after leading BYU as a freshman, and ESPN favors the Cougars in every game except for Notre Dame. 11 wins is a high bar, but this roster has earned my trust, and I'm gonna say give me the push at 11-1 for BYU for the season. And last on the list is Texas Tech. They were predicted to go undefeated, 12-0 and 9-0. Texas Tech may have the conference's deepest roster, but ESPN is asking to go undefeated with uncertainty at quarterback. I still think the Red Raiders are the Big 12 favorite, but I believe someone will beat them this season. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under and put them also at 11-1 for the season. Now that leaves Texas Tech and BYU at the top of the conference, with Utah, Kansas State, and Arizona right behind them. These picks are now officially on the internet now, so when the season ends, we'll come back and find out whether I knew what I was talking about in this video or not. If there's anything you want to say about some of these predictions, you can go ahead and hit me up in the comments section. I will try to respond as quickly as I can. I do have a regular full-time job as well, but I'm trying to spend as much time doing this channel as I can and trying to get things going before the season starts. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.